Ethan Hale had everything. Millions in the bank, a picture-perfect fiancée, and a future so bright it blinded everyone around him. But on the night of his engagement party, his world shattered in front of 200 guests when his ex-wife walked through the door with a young man who looked exactly like him. The whispers started immediately, the cameras flashed, and Ethan's champagne glass slipped from his trembling fingers as one word echoed through his mind: impossible. What he didn't know was that 22 years ago, his own mother had made sure he'd never discover the truth, intercepting letters, making threats, and paying off the woman he loved to disappear forever. Now, standing face to face with the son he never knew existed, Ethan had one choice: let pride destroy him again, or fight for the family that should have been his all along. But here's the twist. Some betrayals cut so deep that forgiveness seems impossible, and some love stories get a second chance only after everything burns to the ground. Subscribe right now and comment where you're watching from, because this redemption story is about to prove that it's never too late to make things right, no matter how many years you've lost. The chandeliers sparkled like 1,000 stars above the ballroom. Crystal drops caught the light and scattered it across cream-colored walls. White roses filled every corner, their scent mixing with expensive perfume and champagne. Ethan Hale stood at the center of it all, his hand resting on the small of Sienna's back. She looked perfect beside him. Her silver dress shimmered when she moved. Her smile never faltered, even when the photographers asked for one more pose, then another. "Mr. Hale, look this way." "Miss Rhodes, can you hold up the ring?" Ethan smiled. He knew how to smile for cameras. He'd been doing it his whole life. Born into money, raised to understand that image mattered just as much as success, maybe more. "Ladies and gentlemen," the event coordinator called out, her voice warm and professional, "dinner will be served in 15 minutes. Please make your way to your tables." Marjorie Kent always ran a tight ship. She'd coordinated dozens of high-profile events at the Hale Grand Hotel. This engagement party was no different. Everything had to be perfect. Ethan loosened his bow tie just slightly. The ballroom felt too warm despite the air conditioning, or maybe it was just him. He picked up his champagne glass and took a long sip. "You okay?" Sienna whispered, her manicured hand touching his arm. "Fine, just hot." She studied him with those sharp brown eyes. Sienna Rhodes didn't miss much. That's what made her good at her job. She ran a marketing firm that worked with Fortune 500 companies. Smart, ambitious, beautiful. Everything his mother had always said he should want. "You seem distracted," she said. "I'm not. I promise." He kissed her temple, just taking it all in. The lie came easily, too easily. Truth was, something felt off, had felt off for weeks now, ever since he'd proposed to Sienna on that beach in the Hamptons. She'd said yes. She'd cried happy tears. They'd called their families. Everyone was thrilled. But late at night, when he was alone in his penthouse, Ethan felt empty, like he was playing a role in someone else's life. He pushed the thought away. This was what he wanted, what he'd worked toward. A stable future with a woman who understood his world. "Ethan." His mother's voice cut through his thoughts. Margaret Hale glided across the marble floor, her emerald gown elegant and understated. "Darling, the mayor just arrived. You should greet him." "Of course." Ethan straightened his shoulders and followed his mother through the crowd. This was his life. Handshakes and small talk. Business connections disguised as friendships. Everyone wanting something. Everyone watching. He made his way back to Sienna after 10 minutes of political pleasantries. The band started playing something slow and romantic. Couples moved onto the dance floor. "Dance with me?" Sienna extended her hand. Ethan took it. Her skin was cool and smooth. They moved together across the polished floor, and he tried to feel something. Anything. "I can't believe this is real," Sienna murmured against his shoulder. "A year ago, I never would have imagined." "I know. Are you happy?" The question caught him off guard. "What?" "Of course." She pulled back slightly to look at his face. "Really? Sienna, it's okay if you're nervous. Marriage is a big step." Her voice was gentle, understanding. "I'm nervous too." He wanted to tell her the truth. That nervous wasn't the right word. That he felt like he was standing at the edge of something and couldn't decide whether to jump or step back. But this wasn't the time. Not with 200 guests watching their every move. "I love you," he said instead. It wasn't a lie. He did love her, just maybe not the way he should. The song ended. People clapped politely. Ethan led Sienna back to their table at the front of the room. He checked his watch. 8:30. The toast would happen at 9, followed by a 4-course dinner. His phone buzzed in his pocket. Probably work. There was always work. "Mr. Hale?" A server appeared at his elbow. "Can I refill your champagne?" "Please." The bubbles tickled his nose as he drank. Around him conversations buzzed. Laughter echoed off the high ceilings. Everything was going according to plan, until it wasn't. Ethan's eyes drifted toward the entrance. A habit, really. He always watched who came and went at his events. Networking never stopped, even at his own engagement party. A woman walked through the tall double doors. He froze. The champagne glass felt suddenly heavy in his hand. The room seemed to tilt slightly, though he knew that was impossible. She wore a simple navy dress, nothing fancy. Her dark hair was pulled back in a neat bun. She carried a large box, flowers probably. She always had loved flowers. Naomi. His heart slammed against his ribs. 8 years. It had been 8 years since he'd seen her, since their divorce, since she'd walked out of his life without looking back. What was she doing here? Beside her stood a young man, tall, athletic build, light brown skin. He said something that made Naomi smile, and Ethan felt that smile like a punch to the gut. But then the young man turned. His profile caught the light. Ethan's champagne glass slipped from his fingers. It hit the edge of the table and shattered. Crystal and liquid exploded across the white tablecloth. Guests nearby gasped and jumped back. "Ethan!" Sienna grabbed his arm. "What happened?" He couldn't answer, couldn't breathe, couldn't look away from the young man who looked exactly like him. Same nose, same jawline, same way of standing with his weight slightly shifted to one side. No, it wasn't possible. "Ethan!" Sienna's voice rose with concern. "You're scaring me." Servers rushed over with napkins. His mother appeared, her face tight with controlled panic. "What's wrong?" Margaret demanded quietly. Ethan finally found his voice. It came out rough and strange. "That woman, at the door." His mother followed his gaze. Her face went pale, paper white. She gripped his arm hard enough to bruise. "Margaret." Sienna looked between them, confused. "Who is that?" "No one," his mother said quickly. "Just someone from the past." But Ethan was already moving. His feet carried him across the ballroom before his brain caught up. People stepped aside, sensing something was wrong. The music seemed too loud, the lights too bright. Naomi saw him coming. Her expression shifted from surprise to something harder, something guarded. She stepped slightly in front of the young man, protective. That's when Ethan knew. Some deep, instinctive part of him just knew. "Hello, Ethan." Her voice was exactly the same, soft but strong. The voice that used to whisper his name in the dark. Naomi. He couldn't get any other words out. His eyes kept moving to the young man beside her. Up close, the resemblance was impossible to deny. Who is this?" She hesitated. The young man looked confused, glancing between them. "Mom," he said. "Is this the client?" "Mom." The word echoed in Ethan's head. "No, Liam," Naomi said quietly. This is Ethan Hale. He owns the hotel." Liam. His name was Liam. Ethan stared at him. At this young man who had his eyes, his smile, his way of tilting his head when he was uncertain. "How old are you?" The question came out before Ethan could stop it. Liam blinked. 22? The math crashed into Ethan like a wave. 22. They'd divorced 8 years ago, which meant, "We should go," Naomi said, already turning. "We just came to drop off the replacement flowers. Marjorie said—" "Wait." Ethan grabbed her arm. Not hard, but firm. Don't you dare walk away again. Let go of me." "Ethan?" Sienna's voice came from behind him. "What's going on?" He couldn't answer. His whole world was narrowing down to this moment. This woman, this boy who looked just like him. The ballroom had gone quiet. Everyone was watching now. Phones were probably out recording. Tomorrow morning this would be all over the tabloids. Ethan didn't care. "He looks just like me," he said. His voice cracked on the last word. Naomi's eyes filled with something he couldn't name. Pain? Anger? Regret? "I know," she whispered. "Why?" Liam stepped forward, his face confused and defensive. "Hey, man, you need to back off. I don't know what this is about, but—" "Because he is," Naomi said. The words hung in the air. 3 simple words that changed everything. "Because he is what?" Sienna demanded. She'd moved closer now, her hand on Ethan's shoulder. "Someone explain what's happening right now." Naomi looked at Ethan. Just at him, like no one else existed. "Because he's yours." Gasps rippled through the crowd. The band stopped playing. Someone dropped a glass in the kitchen, and the crash seemed deafening in the silence. Ethan felt his knees buckle. Sienna caught him. her fingers digging into his jacket. "What?" His voice was barely a whisper. "What did you say?" "You heard me." "No." He shook his head. "No, you would have told me. You would have—" "I tried." Her voice was steady, but her hands shook. "I tried, Ethan, but you were gone. You were already moving on with your perfect life. I don't understand." Liam's voice cut through the tension. He looked at his mother, then at Ethan. "Mom, what's he talking about? What does he mean?" "Not here," Naomi said sharply. "Liam, we're leaving." "The hell you are." Ethan moved to block their path. "You don't get to drop a bomb like that and just walk away. Watch me." They stared at each other. All the years between them disappeared. He saw the girl he'd married at 22, the woman he'd loved with everything in him, the one his mother had called unsuitable, the one he'd been too proud and too young to fight for. "I have a son," he said, testing the words. They felt foreign in his mouth. "You're telling me I have a son and you never told me? Lower your voice." "Why should I?" His anger was rising now, hot and sharp. "You kept my child from me for 22 years. You don't know anything about what happened," Naomi shot back. "You don't know what I went through, what I had to do to survive after—" She stopped herself, pressed her lips together. "After what?" Ethan demanded. "Mr. Hale." Marjorie Kent appeared at his side, her face professional but worried. "Perhaps you should take this conversation somewhere private." He'd forgotten about the crowd, about the engagement party, about Sienna standing there with tears streaming down her face. "Yes," his mother said, appearing from nowhere. Her voice was sharp as glass. "Let's go to my office, now." Margaret took Ethan's arm and practically dragged him toward the back hallway. He let her. He was too numb to fight. Naomi followed. Liam stayed close to his mother, his face pale with shock. They ended up in a small lounge off the main ballroom, leather furniture and dark wood. The door closed, muffling the chaos outside. "Start talking," Ethan said. His hands were shaking, he shoved them in his pockets. "Tell me everything, right now." Naomi set down the flower box. She stood straight, chin up, that pride he'd always loved about her, that strength. "When we separated," she began slowly, "I found out I was pregnant. About 2 weeks after you signed the divorce papers." The room spun. Ethan sat down hard on the couch. "I tried to contact you," Naomi continued. "I wrote letters. I called. I showed up at your apartment. I never got any letters, any calls." He looked at his mother. "Did I?" Margaret's face was stone, but there was something in her eyes, something guilty. "Mother, you were in mourning," Margaret said stiffly. "The divorce nearly destroyed you. You couldn't eat, couldn't work. I had to pick up the pieces. What did you do?" His voice was deadly quiet. Silence. "What did you do?" "I paid her to leave," Margaret said finally. $200,000. Enough to start over somewhere else. Somewhere far from here. Ethan felt like he'd been slapped. "You what?" "It was for your own good," his mother insisted. "She was dragging you down, making you weak. You had a future, Ethan, a legacy to protect." He turned to Naomi. "Is that true? You took money?" "I was 21 years old," Naomi said. Her voice wavered but held. "Pregnant. Alone. My family had disowned me for marrying you. I had no job, no degree, no way to support a baby. So yes, I took the money. I used it to get a small apartment in Brooklyn, to finish school, to give Liam a life." "You should have fought," Ethan said. "You should have found a way to tell me." "I tried. Your mother threatened me. She said if I ever contacted you again, she'd make sure I lost everything. She had lawyers, power, money. What did I have?" Naomi's eyes flashed with old anger. "I was a black girl from Queens who'd made the mistake of falling in love with a rich white boy. Nobody was going to take my side." The truth of it hit Ethan like a freight train. She was right. Back then, his mother would have crushed her, and he'd been too broken, too weak to stop it. "Liam doesn't know," Naomi said softly. "He doesn't know about you, about any of this. I told him his father was gone, that it was just us. But he was at the party. Marjorie hired my company to do the flowers. I didn't know it was your engagement party, not until we got here." She wrapped her arms around herself. "I was going to drop off the arrangements and leave before anyone saw me. I never meant for this to happen." Ethan rubbed his face. His mind was racing, trying to process everything. He had a son, a 22-year-old son, a grown man he'd never met, never held, never watched grow up. "I need to talk to him," he said. "Absolutely not. He's my son. He's my son," Naomi fired back. "I raised him. I fed him, clothed him, stayed up with him when he was sick. I taught him to read, to ride a bike, to be kind. You don't get to just walk in now and claim him. I didn't know about him. If I'd known— What? You would have done things differently? She laughed bitterly. You didn't even fight for me, Ethan. You signed those divorce papers without a second thought. Your mother said jump, and you asked how high. The words stung because they were true. I was young, he said weakly. I was stupid. I thought you deserved better than me. I deserved the truth. Liam deserved the truth. Naomi moved toward the door. We're leaving now. Don't follow us. Don't contact us. Just let us go, like you did before. She opened the door. Liam was standing outside, his face a mask of confusion and hurt. Liam, Naomi said gently. Come on, baby. We're going home. Is it true? Liam's voice was hoarse. Is he my father? Naomi closed her eyes. Yes. Were you ever going to tell me? I don't know. Maybe. Someday. She reached for him. Can we please talk about this at home? Liam pulled away. He looked at Ethan with those eyes that were so familiar. It hurt. 22 years, Liam said. I'm 22 years old, and you never once tried to find me. I didn't know you existed, Ethan said. I swear to God, I didn't know. He's telling the truth, Margaret said quietly. I made sure of that. Liam's face hardened. He turned and walked toward the exit. Naomi shot Ethan one last look, full of pain and anger and something else he couldn't name, and followed her son. Ethan stood there, frozen. His mother sank into a chair, suddenly looking every one of her 55 years. The door to the ballroom opened. Sienna stood there, her makeup smudged from crying. I'm going home, she said. Her voice was empty. I think we both know this engagement is over. Sienna, don't. She held up her hand. Just don't. I hope you figure out whatever this is, but I can't be part of it. She left. The door closed softly behind her. Ethan was alone with his mother, the woman who'd destroyed his life while thinking she was saving it. Get out, he said. Ethan, get out. Margaret rose slowly. She walked to the door, paused, looked back. I did what I thought was right. You ruined everything. I protected you. You took my son from me. His voice broke. You took 22 years I can never get back. Margaret left without another word. Ethan stood in the empty lounge. Through the walls he could hear the party breaking up, people leaving, whispers following them out. He walked to the window. Below he could see Naomi and Liam getting into a cab. Even from up here he could see the tension between them, the way Liam kept his distance. The cab pulled away. The taillights disappeared into the New York night. Ethan pulled out his phone. His hands were steady now, determination replacing shock. He typed a message to his assistant. Find everything you can on Naomi Carter. Address, workplace, phone number. I need it by morning. Then he walked out onto the balcony. The city spread out before him. Millions of lights, millions of lives. And somewhere out there was his son, a son who didn't know him, who had every reason to hate him. Ethan gripped the railing. The metal was cold under his palms. I'll fix this, he whispered to the night. I'll find a way to make this right. But even as he said it, he wondered if some things were too broken to fix. The sun rose too bright through Ethan's penthouse windows. He'd been awake all night, sitting in the dark, staring at nothing. His phone buzzed with messages, hundreds of them. Texts, emails, calls. Everyone wanted to know what happened. The tabloids were already running stories. Billionaire's secret love child revealed. Engagement ends in scandal. Mystery woman from Ethan Hale's past. He ignored all of it. He was waiting for one message. Just one. It came at 7:15. His assistant, David, was nothing if not efficient. Naomi Carter, age 30, owner of Bloom and Flourish Events, specializing in floral design and small event coordination, lives at 847 Park Place, Brooklyn, home phone number attached. She has one son, Liam Carter, age 22, currently studying business at NYU. Clean record, modest income, rents a 2-bedroom apartment. Ethan read the message 3 times. His son was studying business at NYU. Maybe they'd walked past each other on the street. Maybe they'd been in the same building, the same room, without knowing it. The thought made him feel sick. A knock on the door interrupted his thoughts. It's open, he called. Sienna walked in. She looked tired but composed. She'd changed into jeans and a sweater. Without makeup, she looked younger, more vulnerable. I wanted to return this. She held out her hand. The engagement ring sat in her palm, catching the morning light. I won't keep it. It wouldn't be right. Ethan took the ring. It felt heavy, wrong. I'm sorry, he said. You deserved better than this. We both deserved better. She sat down across from him. "Can I ask you something? Anything? Did you ever really love me? Or was I just safe?" The question hung between them. "I loved you," Ethan said honestly. "I do love you. Just not the way I should have. Not the way you deserved." Sienna nodded slowly. "I think I always knew. There was this part of you that was locked away. I thought maybe with time—" She trailed off. "But it was her, wasn't it? All along it was her." Ethan didn't answer. He didn't need to. "For what it's worth," Sienna said, standing up, "I hope you get your family back. I hope it works out." "Thank you." She paused at the door. "She must have been really special, for you to still love her after all this time." Then she was gone. Ethan looked at the ring in his hand, then at his phone, at the address David had sent. 847, Park Place, Brooklyn. He stood up, grabbed his jacket, made a decision. He was going to see his son. Today. Now. He wasn't going to wait another minute. The drive to Brooklyn took 40 minutes through morning traffic. Ethan's driver kept glancing at him in the rearview mirror, but didn't ask questions. The building was old but well-maintained. Brown brick, fire escapes zigzagging down the front, flower boxes in some windows, which made Ethan smile despite everything. Of course Naomi would have flowers. He climbed the stairs to the 3rd floor, apartment 3C. He could hear voices inside, raised voices. "Can't believe you lied to me for 22 years. Liam, please. Let me explain." "Explain what? That my entire life has been a lie? That I have a father who's a millionaire and you just decided I didn't need to know? It wasn't like that. Then what was it like, Mom? Tell me." Ethan knocked before he could lose his nerve. The voices stopped. Footsteps. The door opened. Liam stood there, still in his clothes from last night. His eyes were red. He looked exhausted. "You," he said. Not friendly, not hostile, just flat. "Can I come in?" Ethan asked. "Please, I think we need to talk." Liam stepped back without a word. Ethan walked into the small apartment. It was neat, cozy. Photos covered the walls. All of Liam growing up. Birthday parties, school plays, graduation. A whole life captured in frames. A life Ethan had missed. Naomi stood in the living room. She'd been crying. Her eyes met his, and for a moment neither of them moved. "You shouldn't be here," she said. "I needed to see him, to talk to both of you." "There's nothing to talk about. There's 22 years to talk about." Ethan's voice rose. "You kept my son from me, Naomi. You don't get to decide when this conversation happens." "Actually, I do. This is my home. And he's my son." "Stop!" Liam's voice cut through their argument. "Both of you, just stop. I can't deal with this right now." He looked between them. His face was pale. Ethan saw himself in every feature, the shape of his mouth, the way his hair fell across his forehead, the set of his shoulders. "I have to go," Liam said. "I have class in an hour and I can't miss it." "Liam," Naomi reached for him. "I need some space, Mom. From both of you." He grabbed his backpack and headed for the door. "Don't follow me." The door closed behind him. Silence filled the apartment. Ethan and Naomi stood there, alone for the first time in 8 years. "You should go," she said quietly. "Not until we talk. We have nothing to say to each other. We have everything to say." He moved closer. "Why didn't you try harder? Why didn't you fight?" "Because I was scared." The words burst out of her. "I was 21, pregnant, and terrified. Your mother had lawyers. She threatened to take my baby away if I ever contacted you. She said I'd be tied up in court for years, that I'd lose everything. So I took her money and I ran. I did what I had to do to protect my son. Our son." "My son," she corrected firmly. "I'm the one who raised him. I'm the one who was there for every scraped knee, every nightmare, every achievement. Where were you?" "I didn't know!" Ethan's control finally snapped. "How many times do I have to say it? I didn't know. If I had known, I would have moved heaven and earth to be there. But you took that choice away from me. Your mother took that choice away, and you let her." They stared at each other, breathing hard, years of hurt and anger crackling between them. "I loved you," Ethan said, his voice breaking. "I loved you so much it scared me. And when my mother said you'd be better off without me, I believed her, because I was young and stupid, and I didn't know how to fight for what I wanted. But if I'd known about Liam—" He stopped, swallowed hard. "If I'd known, nothing would have stopped me from being there." Naomi's eyes filled with tears. "It's too late. It doesn't have to be." "Yes, it does. You have your life, your company, your fiancé. I ended the engagement last night." Her eyes widened. "Why?" "Because I can't marry someone when my heart's not in it. And because I just found out I have a son who doesn't know me." He took a breath. I want to know him, Naomi. I want to be part of his life, however I can. He's angry. At both of us. I know. But maybe we can fix this. Together. She shook her head slowly. There is no together for us. That ended 8 years ago. Did it? He moved closer, close enough to catch the scent of her perfume, the same one she'd always worn, lavender and something sweet. Because standing here, it feels like nothing changed. Everything changed, she whispered, but she didn't move away. Then let me get to know him. Let me try to be his father. That's all I'm asking. Naomi closed her eyes. When she opened them, they were full of a sadness so deep it hurt to look at. He needs time, she said. We both do. So please, Ethan. Just go. Give us space to process this. He wanted to argue, to push, to demand his rights as a father, but he saw the exhaustion in her face, the fear, the pain. Okay, he said finally. I'll go, but I'm not giving up. On him or on you. There is no me to give up on. Yes, there is. There always has been. He walked to the door, then paused. I have one question, just one. Did you ever love me, really love me? Or was it just what? Young, temporary, a mistake? Naomi looked at him for a long moment. I loved you more than I've ever loved anyone. Before or since. You were my whole world, Ethan. And when you left, when you signed those papers without a fight, it broke something in me that never quite healed. The words hit him like a physical blow. I'm sorry, he whispered, for everything. Me too. He left before he could say anything else, before he could beg her to give him another chance, before he could tell her that she'd been his whole world too, and he'd spent 8 years trying to forget her, and failing every single day. The drive back to Manhattan felt endless. His phone kept buzzing, his mother calling, his lawyer, the company board. Everyone wanted answers, but Ethan only cared about 2 people, and both of them wanted nothing to do with him. Back in his penthouse, he opened his laptop, typed Liam Carter NYU into the search bar. A LinkedIn profile came up, business major, dean's list every semester, internships at 2 consulting firms, plans to start his own company someday. Ethan scrolled through the page, hungry for every detail about the son he'd never known. At the bottom was a post from 3 months ago, a photo of Liam and Naomi at his birthday dinner, both of them smiling, happy. The caption read, Celebrating 22 with the most important person in my life. Thanks for everything, Mum. I wouldn't be here without you. Ethan stared at the photo until his eyes blurred. He'd missed 22 birthdays, 22 first days of school, 22 Christmases, 22 years he could never get back. But maybe, just maybe, he could be there for the years to come, if they'd let him, if he could find a way to earn their forgiveness. Ethan closed his laptop and walked to the window. The city spread out before him, vast and indifferent to his pain. Somewhere out there was his son, and the woman he'd never stopped loving, and somehow he had to find a way back to them. No matter how long it took, no matter what it cost, he would not fail them again. 3 days passed. 3 days of Ethan staring at his phone, waiting for a call that never came. He cancelled his meetings, let his emails pile up. His assistant kept asking if he was okay. He wasn't okay. He didn't know if he'd ever be okay again. On the 4th day, his phone finally rang. Not Naomi, not Liam, Marjorie Kent. Mr. Hale, her voice was gentle but firm. I think I can help you. How? Ethan sat up straight on his couch. Liam comes to my office sometimes. His mother and I are friends. He trusts me. She paused. I could arrange a meeting, somewhere neutral, just coffee, no pressure. Hope flared in Ethan's chest. Would he agree to that? He might, if he doesn't know it's about you at first. I could tell him it's about a potential business opportunity. That's lying. It's giving him a chance to meet you without his guard up. Once he's there, what happens next is up to both of you. Ethan closed his eyes. When? Tomorrow, 2 o'clock. The cafe on 5th and West 12th. I'll tell him I'm meeting a client who wants to discuss event planning for a startup launch. Marjorie's voice softened. But Ethan, don't push too hard. Let him lead the conversation. Be patient. I will. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. This could go very badly. She hung up. Ethan looked at his reflection in the dark TV screen. He looked terrible. 3 days of stubble, wrinkled shirt, hair uncombed. He needed to pull himself together. The next day, Ethan arrived at the cafe 15 minutes early. He'd gotten a haircut, shaved, put on casual clothes, jeans and a sweater. He wanted to look approachable, normal. He ordered coffee he didn't drink, checked his watch every 30 seconds. At 2 o'clock exactly, the door opened. Liam walked in. He wore a NYU hoodie and carried a messenger bag. He scanned the cafe looking for Marjorie. His eyes passed over Ethan without recognition at first. Then they snapped back. His whole body went rigid. "What is this?" Liam's voice was cold. Ethan stood up. "Please, just 5 minutes. Did Marjorie set this up?" "Yes, but don't be angry at her. I asked her to. I just wanted to talk to you." Liam turned to leave. "Please," Ethan said again. "I'm not here to ambush you. I'm not here to make demands. I just want to talk as two people, that's all." Liam stopped. His hand was on the door handle. 5 minutes, he said finally. "That's it." He sat down across from Ethan, crossed his arms. His whole posture screamed defensive. "Thank you," Ethan said. "Don't thank me, just talk." Ethan had rehearsed this moment 100 times, but now that it was happening, every word fled his mind. "I don't know where to start," he admitted. "Then maybe you shouldn't have forced this meeting. You're right, I shouldn't have lied to get you here. That was wrong." Ethan met his son's eyes, those eyes that looked so much like his own. "But I couldn't wait anymore. I needed to see you, to try to explain." "Explain what? That you didn't know I existed?" "Mom already said that." "It's true, I didn't. But that doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make up for 22 years of not being there." Liam's jaw tightened. "You want me to feel sorry for you?" "No. I want you to let me get to know you, that's all." "Why?" The question was sharp. "Why now? You have your perfect life, your company, your big engagement party. Why do you suddenly care about me?" "Because you're my son. I'm a stranger. You're my son," Ethan repeated. "And I've already missed too much. I don't want to miss any more." Liam looked away. Ethan could see him struggling. Part of him wanted to leave. Part of him wanted to stay. "What do you want from me?" Liam asked finally. "Nothing. I want to give you something. Time, attention, whatever you need. I want to know what you like, what you want, what you dream about." Ethan leaned forward. "I want to know you, Liam. That's not how this works. You don't get to just show up and be a dad. I know, but maybe I can be a friend, someone you can talk to, someone who wants to see you succeed." Liam stared at his hands. "Mom cries at night now. I hear her. She thinks I don't, but I do. You coming back has destroyed her all over again." The words were a knife to Ethan's heart. "I never wanted to hurt her." "But you did. You hurt both of us." Liam looked up. "Do you have any idea what it's like, growing up without a father? Watching other kids with their dads and wondering what was wrong with me? Nothing was wrong with you. Everything was wrong with me." "Easy to say now. I mean it." Ethan's voice cracked. "You deserved better. You deserved a father who was there, who taught you things, who showed up for you. I can't change the past, but I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere." Liam studied him for a long moment. "Tell me about yourself, about who you are." It wasn't what Ethan expected, but he took it. A small opening. "I'm a workaholic," he started. "I built my company from almost nothing. My father left me some money, but I wanted to prove I could make it on my own. So I worked 80-hour weeks for 5 years. Made a lot of money, lost a lot of sleep." He paused. "I like old movies, jazz music. I run every morning in Central Park. I'm terrible at cooking. I once set water on fire." A tiny smile tugged at Liam's mouth. "How do you set water on fire?" "Don't ask." It involved a pot, some oil, and a complete lack of common sense. The smile grew slightly, then disappeared. Like Liam remembered, he was supposed to be angry. "What about your mum?" Liam asked. "The one who paid my mum to leave." Ethan's good mood evaporated. "She's complicated. She thought she was protecting me, but she was wrong. What she did was unforgivable. Does she regret it? I don't know. Maybe. She hasn't tried to contact me since that night." Liam nodded slowly. He checked his watch. "It's been 5 minutes." "Right." Ethan stood up. "Thank you for giving me that." Liam stood too. He picked up his bag, started to leave, then stopped. "I'm studying business," he said without turning around. "At NYU. I want to start my own company someday. Something in sustainable tech. That's impressive. Mom worked 2 jobs to put me through school. She never complained, never made me feel like a burden. She gave up everything for me." Liam turned around. "So, if you want to know me, you need to understand that. She's the most important person in my life, and if you hurt her again, I don't care if you're my biological father or not. I'll never forgive you. I understand. Do you?" "Yes." Ethan's voice was steady. "I loved your mother, I still do, and hurting her again is the last thing I want." Liam blinked, like he hadn't expected that answer. "I have to go," he said. "I have class. Can I see you again? Maybe grab lunch sometime." "I'll think about it." It wasn't a yes, but it wasn't a no either. Ethan watched his son walk out of the cafe. A small crack had opened. Not much, but something. He'd take it. That same afternoon, Naomi stood outside Margaret Hale's townhouse. Her hands were shaking. She'd been standing here for 10 minutes trying to gather courage. Finally, she rang the bell. A housekeeper answered. "Can I help you?" "I'm here to see Margaret Hale. Tell her Naomi Carter is here." The housekeeper's eyes widened. "One moment, please." Naomi waited in the foyer. Marble floors, crystal chandelier, oil paintings worth more than her entire apartment. This was the world Ethan had come from, the world that had never wanted her. Margaret appeared at the top of the stairs. She looked older than Naomi remembered, tired. "Naomi." Her voice was neutral. "This is unexpected. We need to talk." "I don't think we're talking." Naomi's voice was firm. "Either here or on your front lawn where your neighbors can hear everything. Your choice." Margaret came down the stairs slowly. "Follow me." They went to a sitting room. Everything was perfect. Everything was expensive. Everything was cold. "Would you like tea?" Margaret asked. "I don't want your tea. I want answers." Margaret sat down, folded her hands in her lap. "Ask your questions." "Why?" The word came out harsh. "Why did you do it? Why did you take away my letters, my calls? Why did you threaten me?" "Because you weren't right for him. That wasn't your decision to make. He's my son. Everything I do is to protect him." Margaret's voice was cool. "You were dragging him down. He stopped going to work, stopped eating. All he did was mope about the divorce. I had to get him to move on, by stealing his child from him. I didn't know you were pregnant when I gave you that money." "Yes, you did." Naomi's voice was deadly quiet. "I told you in the letter I hand-delivered to this house, the one you said you'd give to Ethan." Margaret's face didn't change, but something flickered in her eyes. "You knew," Naomi continued. "You knew I was carrying your grandchild, and you paid me to disappear anyway." Silence. "Say it," Naomi demanded. "Admit it." "Yes." The word was barely a whisper. "I knew." Naomi's hand flew before she could stop it. The slap echoed through the quiet room. Margaret's head snapped to the side. A red mark bloomed on her pale cheek. "You took 22 years from him," Naomi said. Her voice shook. 22 years he'll never get back. And for what? Your pride? Your image? Margaret touched her face. "I thought I was protecting him." "You were protecting yourself. You didn't want a black daughter-in-law. You didn't want mixed grandchildren. You didn't want anything that didn't fit your perfect image." "That's not—" "Don't lie to me. Not now. I remember what you said to me. Girls like you don't belong in our world. You'll never be accepted. You're a phase he'll grow out of." Naomi's eyes burned with tears. "Well, guess what? I didn't need your world. I built my own, and I raised an incredible son. Without you. Without your money. Without your approval." Margaret looked down at her hands. "He is incredible. I saw him at the party. He looks just like Ethan at that age. He's better than Ethan at that age, because he knows what matters. He knows that family isn't about money or status. It's about showing up, being there, loving people even when it's hard. I loved my son. No, you loved your version of your son, the perfect heir, the perfect image. You never loved him enough to let him choose his own life." Margaret stood up, walked to the window. "You should go." "I'm not done." "Yes, you are. You got what you came for. You told me what you think of me. You hit me. Now leave." Naomi stood. "Ethan wants to know his son, and as much as I hate it, I'm going to let him try, because Liam deserves to make his own choice about his father. But you," she moved toward the door, "you stay away from both of them. You've done enough damage. He's my grandson. He's my son. And you lost the right to know him the day you paid me to disappear." Naomi walked out. She didn't look back. On the front steps, she finally let herself cry. Big, gasping sobs that she'd been holding in for days, for years, for a lifetime. She pulled out her phone, dialed Marjorie. "Hey," Marjorie's warm voice answered. "You okay?" "No. Can you meet me? I need a friend. Give me your location. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Naomi sat on the steps of a church 2 blocks away, watched the city move around her. So many people, so many lives, none of them knowing or caring about her pain. Marjorie arrived with coffee and tissues. "I slapped Margaret Hale," Naomi said. "Good for you." They sat in silence for a while. Then Marjorie spoke. "He met with Liam today at the cafe." Naomi's head snapped up. "What?" "I arranged it. Don't be mad." Liam agreed. Sort of. Sort of. I told him it was a business meeting, but he stayed. They talked. It seemed to go okay. Naomi didn't know how to feel. angry that Marjorie had gone behind her back, relieved that Liam was giving Ethan a chance, terrified of what came next. "He's going to break Liam's heart," she whispered, "just like he broke mine. Maybe, or maybe he'll surprise you. I can't watch that happen." "Then don't. But don't stop it either. Liam's an adult. Let him make his own choices." Naomi knew Marjorie was right, but that didn't make it easier. 2 weeks passed. Slowly, carefully, Ethan and Liam began to build something. Not a father-son relationship, not yet, but something. They met for coffee 3 more times, then lunch. Then Liam agreed to visit Ethan's office. Ethan gave him a tour, showed him the company he'd built, introduced him to his team. "This is impressive," Liam admitted. They stood in Ethan's office on the top floor. Windows overlooked the entire city. "You really built this yourself, with a lot of help and a lot of mistakes." Ethan smiled. "Want to know a secret? Sure. I almost lost everything 5 years ago. Made a bad investment. Nearly bankrupted the company. But I learned from it. Got smarter. Worked harder. Why are you telling me this? Because I want you to know I'm not perfect. I never was. I made mistakes in business. I made mistakes in life. Huge ones." Ethan looked at his son. "But I'm trying to do better. To be better." Liam nodded slowly. "Can I ask you something?" "Anything." "Why did you divorce Mom?" The question hit Ethan like a truck. He'd known it would come eventually, but he still wasn't ready. "I was stupid," he said finally, "and young, and I listened to people who told me our marriage was a mistake, that we were too different, that it would never work. Because she's black." It wasn't a question. Ethan met his son's eyes. "Partly, yes. My mother had opinions about who I should be with, what my life should look like, and I was too weak to fight her. That's messed up. I know, I've spent 8 years regretting it, wondering what my life would have been like if I'd fought harder, if I'd been braver." Liam was quiet for a moment. "Do you still love her?" "Yes." The answer came without hesitation. "I never stopped." "Does she know that?" "No. Maybe. I don't know." Ethan rubbed his face. "It doesn't matter. She doesn't want anything to do with me, and I don't blame her. You should tell her. It wouldn't change anything." "Maybe not, but she should know." Liam picked up a paperweight from Ethan's desk, studied it. "You hurt her really badly. I spent my whole childhood watching her work herself to exhaustion, watching her cry when she thought I was asleep, watching her date guys who were never good enough because she was still in love with you." The words cut deep. "I'm sorry," Ethan whispered. "Tell her, not me." Ethan nodded. "You're very wise for 22. I had a good teacher." Liam set down the paperweight. "Hey, can I ask you something else?" "Always." "You said you almost lost your company. How did you save it?" Ethan smiled. "Want to see the spreadsheets?" They spent the next hour going over business strategy. Ethan showed Liam how he'd restructured the company, cut costs, pivoted to new markets. Liam asked smart questions, had good instincts. "You'd be good at this," Ethan said, "if you ever want an internship. Really, really, I'd be honored to have you work here, if you want." Liam bit his lip, thinking, "Can I think about it?" "Of course, no pressure. The offer stands whenever you're ready." They shook hands. It felt formal, but it also felt like progress. 3 days later, Ethan's phone rang. Naomi's number flashed on the screen. His heart nearly stopped. "Hello?" "Ethan." Her voice was stiff. Liam said you've been meeting with him." "I have. Is that okay? I don't want to overstep." "It's fine. He's an adult. He can make his own choices." She paused. "He also said you offered him an internship." "I did, but only if he wants it. I'm not trying to buy his affection." "I know, that's not your style." Silence stretched between them. "Why are you calling?" Ethan asked gently. "Because Liam suggested we all have dinner, together. He thinks we need to talk, clear the air. Do you want to?" Another pause. "No, but I think he's right. For his sake, we need to at least be civil." "I can do civil. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. There's a small Italian place near my apartment. Nothing fancy. Text me the address, I'll be there." "Ethan? Yeah? Don't make this harder than it has to be. This is for Liam, not for us." The line went dead. Ethan stared at his phone. Tomorrow night, he'd have dinner with both of them. His son, the woman he'd never stopped loving. He had no idea how he'd get through it without falling apart. The restaurant was small and cozy, red checkered tablecloths, candles in wine bottles, the smell of garlic and tomato sauce. Ethan arrived 5 minutes early, found the table Naomi had reserved in the back corner. She walked in at 7 exactly. She'd dressed simply, jeans and a blue sweater that brought out her eyes. Her hair was down. She looked beautiful. She always looked beautiful. "Hi," he said, standing up. "Hi." She sat across from him, didn't quite meet his eyes. "Liam's not here yet? He's running late. Class went over." So they were alone. Perfect. The waiter came over. They ordered drinks. Water for Naomi. Scotch for Ethan. "You don't drink scotch," Naomi said. "I do now." "Since when?" "Since my life fell apart." He tried to smile. Failed. "Sorry. That wasn't fair." "No, it was honest." She looked at him finally. Really looked at him. "You look tired." "I am tired. I haven't slept much lately." "Me neither." They fell silent again. The waiter brought their drinks. Ethan took a long sip. The burn felt good. "He talks about you," Naomi said suddenly. "Liam. He comes home and tells me about your meetings, what you talked about, what you taught him. Is that okay?" "I don't know. Part of me is happy he's getting to know you. Part of me is terrified. I'm not going to hurt him or you, not again." "You can't promise that." "You're right, I can't, but I can try." Naomi twisted her napkin in her hands. "He really likes you. That's what scares me most. Because if you disappoint him, if you walk away again, I won't." Everyone says that until they do. Ethan reached across the table, stopped just short of touching her hand. "I know I don't deserve your trust. I know I have to earn it. But I'm not going anywhere. I've already missed 22 years. I'm not missing another day." Naomi pulled her hand back. "Don't do that." "Do what?" "Say things that make me want to believe you." "Why not?" "It's the truth." "Because the truth doesn't matter if you can't follow through." "Then watch me. Watch me show up. Watch me be there for him. For both of you." "There is no both of us, Ethan. There's Liam, that's it." Before he could respond, Liam walked in. He looked between them, sensing the tension. "Sorry I'm late," he said, sliding into the chair between them. Professor wouldn't stop talking. "It's fine," Naomi said, her voice brightening, putting on a smile. "We just ordered drinks." The rest of dinner was awkward, but not terrible. They talked about safe things. Liam's classes, Ethan's company, Naomi's latest event project. Liam told a funny story about a disaster at a wedding, a cake that collapsed, a bride who laughed instead of cried. Naomi and Ethan both smiled. For a moment it almost felt normal, like they were a family. Then Liam laughed at something Ethan said. Really laughed. The same laugh Ethan had. The same sound. Naomi and Ethan's eyes met across the table, and everything else fell away. In that moment they both saw it. What could have been, what should have been. All the years they'd lost. The moment passed, but it left something behind. A crack in the wall Naomi had built. After dinner, they stood outside the restaurant. The night was cold. Fall was turning to winter. "Thank you for this," Ethan said to both of them. "Yeah, it was nice," Liam agreed. "We should do it again." "I'd like that," Naomi said softly. Ethan caught a cab. Watched them walk away together, mother and son. The life he should have been part of, but for the first time in weeks, he felt hope. Small, fragile, but real. Maybe it wasn't too late after all. Liam started his internship on a Monday morning. He showed up 15 minutes early, nervous and trying not to show it. Ethan met him in the lobby. "Ready?" "I think so." "Don't be nervous. Everyone here is excited to meet you." They rode the elevator to the 15th floor. The office was all glass and modern furniture. People worked at standing desks. There was a coffee bar in the corner that looked fancier than most cafes. "This is where you'll sit." Ethan led him to a desk near a window. "You'll be working with the development team, learning about project management, client relations, that kind of thing. What if I mess up?" "Then you mess up. That's how you learn." Ethan smiled. "I messed up plenty when I started. Ask anyone here." A woman walked over. She was maybe 40, with kind eyes and a friendly smile. "Liam, this is Patricia. She runs the development team. She'll be your supervisor." Patricia shook his hand. "Welcome. Your dad's told me a lot about you." The word dad hung in the air. Liam glanced at Ethan. Ethan looked away, suddenly very interested in some papers on a nearby desk. "Thanks," Liam said. "I'm excited to be here." The first week was overwhelming. So much to learn. So many new faces. But Liam caught on quickly. He was smart, hard-working. People noticed. Ethan tried not to hover. He wanted Liam to succeed on his own merit, but he couldn't help checking in, bringing coffee, asking how things were going. "You're being weird," Liam said one afternoon. They were in the break room. "You know that, right?" "Weird how?" "You keep checking on me. Like I'm going to disappear if you look away." Ethan stirred his coffee. "Sorry. I'll back off." "I didn't say back off. I just said you're being weird. Liam leaned against the counter. It's kind of nice, actually, having someone care. Your mom cares. I know, but it's different. She's always cared. You're new at it. They stood in comfortable silence for a moment. Can I tell you something? Liam asked. Always. I used to make up stories about you, about my dad. I'd imagine you were a soldier overseas, or a scientist on a secret mission, or an astronaut in space. Anything except the truth. What was the truth? That you didn't want me. That I wasn't good enough for you to stick around. The words cut deep. Ethan set down his coffee cup before he dropped it. That was never true, he said. Not for 1 second. If I'd known about you. I know. Mom told me everything about your mother. The money, the letters. Liam looked at him. I'm still angry, but I'm trying not to be. You have every right to be angry. Maybe. But being angry is exhausting, and I'm tired of it. He pushed off the counter. Come on, Patricia wants to show me the new project proposal. They walked back to the office together, side by side, and for the first time it felt almost natural. Over the next 2 weeks, something shifted. Liam started calling Ethan by his first name instead of Mr. Hale. They had inside jokes. Liam even stayed late a few times to help Ethan with a big presentation. Naomi watched from the outside. Liam came home talking about work, about things he'd learned, about conversations he'd had with Ethan. She was happy for him. Really, she was. But a small part of her felt left behind. Mom, you okay? Liam asked one night. They were eating dinner at her small kitchen table. Fine. Just tired. You've been saying that a lot lately. I've been tired a lot lately. She smiled to soften the words. How was work? Good. Ethan, He paused. Is it weird if I call him my dad? Naomi's chest tightened. No, it's not weird. It feels weird. Like I'm betraying you or something. Liam, she reached across the table, took his hand. You're not betraying me. He is your dad, biologically, and if you want to build a relationship with him, I support that. Even though he hurt you, even though he hurt me, because you deserve to know him, to make your own choice about who he is. Liam squeezed her hand. You're the best. You know that? I'm the only mom you've got. I'd better be. They laughed. But after Liam went to bed, Naomi sat alone in the dark, thinking about Ethan, about the way he'd looked at her at dinner, about the past that wouldn't stay buried. Her phone buzzed. A text from Marjorie. Big charity gala next month. Need help with the flowers. You interested? Naomi typed back. Always. Send me the details. It's for the children's hospital. Black tie. Very fancy. Ethan's company is one of the sponsors. Of course it was. The universe had a sick sense of humor. Still interested, Naomi wrote. I can handle it. But she wasn't sure she could. The gala was 3 weeks away. Naomi threw herself into the planning, choosing flowers, designing centerpieces, creating something beautiful. Work kept her mind off things. Off Ethan, off the way her life had turned upside down in just a few weeks. Liam mentioned the gala at dinner one night. Ethan wants me to come, he said. To the hospital thing. He said I could bring someone. Want to come with me? Naomi nearly choked on her water. What? The gala? Ethan got me a ticket. Well, he got me 2 tickets. One for me and one for whoever I want to bring. Liam, I'm working the event. I'll be there anyway. So we can go together. As a family. The word hit her hard. Family. They hadn't been a family in 8 years. Maybe they'd never really been one at all. I don't know if that's a good idea. Why not? You'll both be there. I'll be there. We might as well sit together. It's complicated. Everything's complicated with you two. Liam set down his fork. Look, I know you and Ethan have history. I know he hurt you, but can't you at least try? For me? How could she say no to that? Okay, she said. We'll go together. Liam's face lit up. Really? Really? But I'm leaving early. I have to supervise the teardown. Deal. 3 weeks passed too quickly. The night of the gala arrived. Naomi spent all afternoon at the venue. Her huge hotel ballroom. She directed her team as they set up. Roses and orchids and tiny white lights. Everything had to be perfect. Marjorie found her at 6 o'clock. Go home. Get ready. I'll handle the rest. Are you sure? Positive. You did amazing work. Now go be a guest instead of a worker. Naomi went home, showered, pulled out the one fancy dress she owned. Simple black. Nothing too flashy. She wasn't trying to impress anyone. Liar, a voice in her head whispered. She put on makeup, did her hair, looked at herself in the mirror. She looked good, better than good. The doorbell rang at 7. Liam stood there in a suit, He looked so grown up it made her heart ache. "You look beautiful, Mum. You look handsome." They took a cab to the hotel, walked in together. The ballroom was already filling with people in expensive clothes. Jewelry sparkled. Champagne flowed. Naomi felt out of place. This wasn't her world. It never had been. "There he is." Liam waved. Ethan stood near the bar. He wore a tuxedo that fit him perfectly. His hair was styled. He looked like he belonged here. Then he saw them, saw Naomi. His whole face changed. He crossed the room quickly. "You came. Liam invited me. I'm glad." His eyes hadn't left her face. "You look—" "Don't," she said quietly. "Don't what?" "Don't look at me like that." Liam glanced between them. "I'm gonna go find the appetizers." He disappeared into the crowd, leaving them alone. "Like what?" Ethan asked. "Like you used to. When we were—" She stopped. "It doesn't matter. Where are we sitting?" "Table 5, near the stage." The evening started well. Dinner was served. Speeches were made. Liam seemed happy, relaxed. He laughed at jokes, made small talk with the people around them. Ethan kept glancing at Naomi. She felt his eyes on her, tried to ignore it. After dinner, they announced a special award for young entrepreneurs making a difference. "And this year's recipient," the announcer said, "is Liam Carter." Naomi's head snapped up. Liam looked shocked. "What?" he whispered. "Go," Ethan said, smiling. "You earned it. You did this. I nominated you, but you won on your own merit. Now go accept your award." Liam walked to the stage in a daze, accepted the plaque, said a few words that made Naomi's eyes fill with tears. "I want to thank my mum," Liam said into the microphone. "She taught me everything I know about hard work and dedication, and I want to thank Ethan Hale, who gave me a chance when I needed it most. Thank you both." The room applauded. Naomi wiped her eyes. Ethan handed her a napkin without a word. Liam came back to the table. People congratulated him, shook his hand. For a moment everything was perfect. The three of them together, celebrating. Then the doors opened. Sienna walked in. She looked stunning in a red dress. Her hair was perfect, her makeup flawless, but her eyes were hard. Ethan saw her. His face went pale. "What's she doing here?" Naomi asked. "I don't know." Sienna walked straight to their table. The room went quiet. People sensed drama. "Hello, Ethan." Her voice was cold, sweet. "Sienna, you shouldn't be here." "Why not?" "I was invited. Or did you forget that we planned this gala together? Before you decided to destroy our relationship for your secret family. Keep your voice down." "Why, embarrassed?" She turned to the crowd. People had their phones out, recording. "Everyone wants to know the truth, don't they? About how Ethan Hale abandoned his fiancée the second his ex-wife showed up." "That's not what happened," Ethan said. "No? Then what did happen? Explain it to me. To everyone." Sienna's voice rose. "Explain how you chose them over me. How you threw away 2 years for people you barely know." "He knows me," Liam said quietly. He stood up. "And you need to leave." "Oh, the son speaks. The secret son that nobody knew about. Tell me, Liam, is it true? Did your mother trap Ethan with a pregnancy?" Naomi stood up so fast her chair fell over. "Don't you dare." "Or what? You'll run away again? That's what you do, right? Run away and hide." "Enough." Ethan's voice cut through the room. "Sienna, I'm sorry I hurt you. I am. But this isn't the time or place." "When is the time? You won't return my calls. You won't meet with me. So I came here to get answers. The answer is that we weren't right for each other. We both know it. I ended things honestly. Now please let it go." Sienna's eyes filled with tears, real ones this time. "I loved you. I know. And I cared about you. But I didn't love you. Not the way I should have." She looked at Naomi. "Because of her. Because of me," Ethan said. "Because I wasn't ready. Because I was still holding on to the past." Sienna nodded slowly. She looked around at all the phones, all the people watching. Her face crumbled. "I hope she was worth it," she whispered. Then she walked out. The room erupted in whispers. Ethan sat down heavily, put his head in his hands. "I'm sorry," he said. "I'm so sorry. I ruined your night." "You didn't ruin anything," Liam said. "She did." But the damage was done. People kept staring, whispering, taking pictures. Naomi touched Liam's shoulder. "We should go." "No," Ethan said. "Please, don't let her chase you away. Stay. Finish the night. Everyone's staring at us. Let them stare. I don't care anymore." He looked at her. "I'm tired of hiding, of being ashamed. You two are the best things in my life. I'm not going to apologize for that." Naomi wanted to leave, to run, but something in his voice stopped her. "Okay," she said softly. "We'll stay." They stayed until the end, danced, talked, tried to ignore the cameras and whispers. When it was over, they walked out together. The three of them. Photographers swarmed. Questions flew. Mr. Hale, is it true about your son? Naomi, did you keep the child's secret? Liam, how do you feel about your father? Ethan put his arm around Liam, pulled him close. Yes, this is my son, and I'm proud of him. Did you know about him? No, but I do now, and that's all that matters. They pushed through the crowd, got into Ethan's car. The driver pulled away from the chaos. That was insane, Liam said. Yeah, it was. Ethan loosened his tie. The press is going to have a field day tomorrow. What will you do? Tell the truth. Own it. It's the only way forward. They dropped Naomi and Liam off at their apartment. Ethan walked them to the door. Thank you, he said, for staying, for supporting me tonight. We're family, Liam said. That's what family does. The word hung between them. Family. Ethan's eyes got wet. He pulled Liam into a hug, held him tight. I'm so proud of you. Thanks. For everything. Ethan let go. Looked at Naomi. Can we talk just for a minute? Liam went inside, left them alone in the hallway. What's wrong? Naomi asked. Nothing's wrong. Everything's right. For the first time in years, things feel right. He stepped closer. Thank you for giving me a chance to know him, to be part of his life. You're welcome. And thank you for tonight, for standing by me when Sienna showed up. You didn't have to do that. Yes, I did. Because you're right. We're family now. Complicated and messy, but family. Ethan smiled. Complicated and messy, that's one way to put it. They stood there, close enough to touch, not touching. I should go, Naomi said. Wait. He caught her hand. Naomi, I meant what I said tonight, about you being one of the best things in my life. Ethan, I know you don't want to hear it, but it's true. It's always been true. She pulled her hand away gently. Good night, Ethan. She went inside, closed the door, leaned against it. Her heart was pounding. Her hands were shaking. She was in so much trouble. The next morning, Naomi woke up to her phone buzzing non-stop. Messages, emails, calls. She checked the news. Her stomach dropped. Pictures from the gala were everywhere. Headlines screamed, Ethan Hale confirms secret son. Engagement disaster. Ex-fiancé crashes charity gala. Billionaire's hidden family exposed. And there were photos. So many photos. Of her. Of Liam. Of all three of them together. Her phone rang. Marjorie. Have you seen the news? Marjorie asked. I'm looking at it now. People are calling the office, wanting interviews, wanting your story. I'm not giving interviews. I didn't think you would. But Naomi, this is big. Everyone wants to know about you. I don't care what everyone wants. What about what you want? The question caught her off guard. What do you mean? Do you want to stay here, in New York, with all this attention? Naomi looked around her small apartment. Thought about the photographers who'd probably camp outside soon, about the whispers that would follow her everywhere. I don't know, she admitted, because I got a call this morning from a contact in Chicago. They're looking for an event coordinator, someone to run their design department. It's a great opportunity, better pay, a fresh start. Chicago? Think about it, no pressure. But the offer's there if you want it. They hung up. Naomi sat on her couch, stared at the wall. Chicago. A fresh start. Away from all of this. Away from Ethan. The thought should have brought relief. Instead, it made her chest ache. Liam came out of his room. Mom? You okay? I'm fine. Just looking at the news. He sat beside her, looked at her phone. Wow, we're famous. You're taking this well. Why wouldn't I? It's the truth. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm proud of you for being so mature about all this. I learned from the best. He kissed her cheek. I have to go. Meeting with Ethan's team about a new project. After he left, Naomi called Marjorie back. The Chicago job, she said. Is it still available? Yes. Tell them I'm interested. 2 days later, Ethan held a press conference. He stood in front of dozens of reporters and cameras. His PR team had written him a statement, something safe and vague. He'd torn it up that morning. Thank you all for coming, he began. I know there's been a lot of speculation about my personal life, so I'm here to set the record straight. Cameras flashed, reporters leaned forward. 22 years ago I was married. The marriage ended in divorce. I thought I'd moved on, but recently I discovered something that changed everything. He took a breath. I have a son. His name is Liam Carter. He's 22 years old, smart, talented, and incredible, and I didn't know he existed until a few weeks ago. Questions erupted. Ethan held up his hand. Please, Let me finish. He waited for quiet. I didn't know because I was kept in the dark. But I know now, and I'm grateful. Liam is my son, and I'm proud to say that publicly. I'm proud of the man he's become, and I'm proud to be his father, even if I'm 22 years late. What about the mother? Someone shouted. Naomi Carter is an extraordinary woman. She raised our son alone. She gave him everything I should have been there to give. She deserves respect and privacy, and I'm asking all of you to give her that. Are you and Naomi back together? No, we're co-parenting, learning to be a family in a new way. What about Sienna Rhodes? Sienna and I have ended our relationship. I wish her well. She's a good person who deserves happiness, but we weren't right for each other. More questions flew. Ethan answered what he could, avoided what he couldn't. When it was over, he felt lighter. The truth was out. No more secrets, no more lies. His phone rang as he left the building. His board of directors wanted a meeting. Some clients were concerned about his image. Ethan didn't care. Let them be concerned. He wasn't apologizing for his son. He went back to his office. Liam was there, working at his desk. Saw the press conference, Liam said. That was brave. It was necessary. Still brave. Liam stood up. Hey, can I ask you something? Sure. Do you regret it? Divorcing my mom? The question hit hard. Ethan sat down. Every single day. Then why don't you do something about it? Like what? Tell her, fight for her, show her you've changed. She doesn't want that. Are you sure? Or are you just scared? Ethan looked at his son, this young man who barely knew him, but somehow understood him completely. Maybe both, he admitted. Then figure out which one it is, because life's too short for regrets. Liam grabbed his bag. I gotta go. Class in 20 minutes. He left. Ethan sat alone in his office. His phone buzzed. A text from Naomi. We need to talk. Can you come over tonight? His heart jumped. Yes, what time? 7. He counted the hours until 7 o'clock. Ethan arrived at 7 exactly. He'd changed clothes 3 times, finally settled on jeans and a sweater. Casual, approachable. He knocked. Naomi opened the door. She looked tired, worried. Come in. He followed her inside. The apartment was quiet. Where's Liam? At Caleb's place. I wanted to talk to you alone. His chest tightened. That didn't sound good. They sat in the living room. Naomi kept her distance, sat in the chair instead of the couch where he was. I got a job offer, she said. That's great. Congratulations. It's in Chicago. The words hit him like a punch. Chicago? Yes, it's a really good opportunity. Better pay. Running an entire design department. It's everything I've worked toward. When would you start? 2 weeks, if I take it. If, he leaned forward. You're thinking about turning it down. I don't know, that's why I wanted to talk to you. She twisted her hands together. Liam's here. His school is here. His internship. You. I can't just drag him across the country. He's an adult. He can make his own choice. I know, but I'm his mother. I can't just leave him. So don't take the job. She looked at him sharply. Is that what you want? For me to stay? Yes. The answer came without hesitation. I want you to stay. Both of you. Why? Because you belong here. Because Liam's building a life here. Because... He stopped himself. Because what? Because I need you here. Silence filled the room. Naomi stood up, walked to the window. That's not fair, she said quietly. What isn't? You saying things like that? Making this harder than it already is. Ethan stood, moved closer, but didn't touch her. I'm sorry, but it's true. I need you here, Naomi. Not just for Liam, for me. We're not together, Ethan. We're co-parents, that's all. Is it? Yes. But her voice wavered. Then why does it feel like more? Why do I catch you looking at me when you think I'm not paying attention? Why do you still wear lavender perfume? Because you know it's my favorite. Stop. She turned to face him. Her eyes were wet. Please stop. Why? Because it's true? Because you feel it too? It doesn't matter what I feel, what we feel. Too much has happened. Too many years have passed. Time doesn't change love, Naomi. I've spent 8 years trying to prove that wrong. I failed. I still love you. I never stopped. A tear rolled down her cheek. Don't say that. Why not? Because it hurts. Because I spent 8 years trying to get over you, trying to move on, and I can't do that if you keep saying things like that. Ethan reached out, wiped the tear away with his thumb. She didn't pull back. Maybe you're not supposed to get over me, he whispered. Maybe we're supposed to find our way back to each other. It's not that simple. Why not? Because you broke my heart, Ethan. You chose your mother's approval over me. You signed those papers without a fight, And now you want me to just forget that? To pretend it didn't happen? No, I want you to forgive me. I want a second chance. I don't know if I can give you that. Then let me earn it. Stay. Give me time to show you I've changed, that I'm not the scared kid I was back then. Naomi pulled away, wrapped her arms around herself. I need to think about the job, about what's best for me and Liam. I understand. Do you? Because it feels like you're asking me to give up my dreams for you. Again, the words stung because they were partially true. I'm not asking you to give up anything. I'm asking you to consider staying. But if Chicago is what you need, then go. I won't stand in your way. Really? Really. I want you to be happy, even if it's not with me. She studied his face, looking for lies, finding only truth. I'll think about it, she said finally. That's all I ask. He left shortly after. The drive home felt endless. His chest ached. His hands shook on the steering wheel. She was going to leave. He could feel it. She was going to take the job and move away, and he'd lose her all over again. But what could he do? He'd said his piece. The rest was up to her. 3 days passed. Ethan threw himself into work. Anything to keep his mind off Naomi, off the choice she was making. Liam came to the office every day. He was learning fast, impressing everyone, but he seemed distracted. You okay? Ethan asked one afternoon. Mom's taking the Chicago job. Ethan's heart dropped. She told you? Last night. She's leaving in a week. Are you going with her? I don't know. She wants me to, but my life is here now. School, work, you. Liam looked miserable. I don't know what to do. What does your heart tell you? That I'm screwed either way. If I stay, I lose her. If I go, I lose everything I've built here. Ethan put a hand on his shoulder. Whatever you choose, I support you. And I'll still be here. Always. Even if I go to Chicago? Even then, I'll visit. We'll video chat. We'll figure it out. Liam nodded slowly. Thanks. That night, Ethan sat alone in his penthouse, staring at nothing. His phone rang. His mother's name flashed on the screen. He almost didn't answer, but something made him pick up. What do you want, Mother? To see you, please. It's important. I have nothing to say to you. Then just listen. That's all I ask. 30 minutes of your time. He should have said no, should have hung up, but curiosity won. Fine, tomorrow noon, my office. I'll be there. Margaret arrived exactly at noon. She looked smaller somehow, older. She carried a box under her arm. Thank you for seeing me, she said. You have 30 minutes. She sat down, set the box on his desk. I owe you an apology, a real one. Not the excuses I gave before. Ethan waited. What I did was unforgivable, Margaret continued. I took your son from you. I took 22 years you can never get back, and I did it because I was proud and selfish and thought I knew better than everyone else. Yes, you did. I've spent the last few weeks thinking about what kind of person does that, what kind of mother hurts her own child so badly. Her voice cracked. And I realized I was so busy trying to protect you that I destroyed you instead. What's in the box? Ethan asked. Margaret opened it. Inside were letters. Dozens of them, yellowed with age. These are from Naomi. She wrote them over the course of 2 years after your divorce, telling you about Liam, about her pregnancy, about wanting you to be part of his life. Margaret's hands shook. I kept them all, every single one. I told myself I was protecting you, but I was just protecting myself, my image, my plans for your future. Ethan pulled out a letter. The handwriting was Naomi's. Familiar, beautiful. Dear Ethan, it began. I don't know if you'll ever read this. Your mother says you don't want to hear from me, but I have to try. I'm pregnant. With your child. Our child. His vision blurred. He opened another letter, then another. Years of her life, years of their son's life, all hidden in a box. I'm dying, Margaret said quietly. Ethan's head snapped up. What? Cancer, stage 4, 6 months, maybe a year if I'm lucky. She wiped her eyes. I'm not telling you this for sympathy. I'm telling you because I don't want to die with this between us. I want you to know I'm sorry, truly deeply sorry, and I want you to fight for them, the way I should have let you fight 8 years ago. Mother, don't waste your life like I wasted mine. Don't let pride and fear keep you from the people you love. Naomi is leaving for Chicago in a week. Liam told me, so go after her. Tell her you love her. Beg if you have to. Just don't let her go without a fight. Ethan stared at the box of letters, at his mother, at the woman who'd ruined his life and was now trying to fix it with her dying breath. I don't know what to say, he whispered. Say you'll try. That's all I ask. I'll try. Margaret stood. She looked like she wanted to hug him, but she didn't. Some distances were too far to cross. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, she said, but I hope someday you can at least understand why I did what I did, even if it was wrong. She left. Ethan sat alone with the letters. He started reading, and didn't stop until he'd read every single one. Naomi was packing. Boxes filled her living room. 8 years of life reduced to cardboard and tape. Liam sat on the couch, watching, not helping. You could at least pretend to be happy for me, Naomi said. I am happy for you, I'm just sad for me. You don't have to come. I told you that. I know, but you're my mom. I can't just let you move across the country alone. Yes, you can. You're 22. You have your own life, your job, your friends. And what about Ethan? Naomi's hand stilled on the box she was packing. What about him? You're in love with him. I am not, Mom. Come on. I see the way you look at him, the way he looks at you. You're both so obvious it's painful. It's complicated. Love usually is. Liam stood up. But running away isn't going to change how you feel. I'm not running away. I'm taking a job. In another state. 1,000 miles away. Right when things are finally coming together with Ethan. That's not running. Naomi sank onto the couch. I'm scared, okay? I'm terrified. Because I do love him. I never stopped. And that scares me more than anything. Why? Because he hurt me once. What's to stop him from doing it again? Nothing. That's what trust is. Taking a risk on someone even when you're scared. Naomi looked at her son. When had he gotten so wise? When did you grow up? She asked. I had a good teacher. She pulled him into a hug, held him tight. A knock on the door interrupted them. I'll get it, Liam said. He opened the door. Ethan stood there. He looked terrible, like he hadn't slept. His clothes were wrinkled. His eyes were red. I need to talk to your mother, he said. She's packing. I know, that's why I'm here. Liam stepped aside. Ethan walked in, saw the boxes, saw Naomi on the couch. You're really leaving, he said. Yes. When? 5 days. He nodded slowly, pulled something from his jacket, a box, old and worn. What's that? Naomi asked. Letters. From you. To me. My mother kept them. All of them. He set the box down. I read them. Every single one. And I need you to know something. Ethan, please let me say this. He sat beside her. If I had gotten those letters, everything would have been different. I would have come for you. I would have fought for you. For us. For our son. Nothing would have stopped me. But you didn't get them. Your mother made sure of that. I know. And I can't change that. But I can change now. I can fight now. He took her hands. Don't go to Chicago. Please. Stay here. Give me a chance to prove that I'm not the scared kid I was. That I'm a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to fight for it. And what do you want? You. I want you. I want mornings drinking coffee together. I want fights about stupid things. I want to fall asleep beside you and wake up knowing you're there. I want a life with you, Naomi, not because of Liam, because of you, because you're the only woman I've ever loved, the only one I'll ever love. Tears streamed down her face. It's been 8 years. And I've loved you every single day of those 8 years. That's never going to change. What if it doesn't work? What if we try and fail? Then at least we tried. At least we fought. But I don't think we'll fail. I think we're meant to be together. Always have been. Naomi looked at Liam. He was smiling, nodding. What do you think? She asked him. I think you should stop being stubborn and say yes. She laughed through her tears, looked back at Ethan. I'm still scared, she whispered. So am I. But I'd rather be scared with you than safe without you. She leaned forward, rested her forehead against his. Okay, she breathed. Okay, okay, I'll stay. I'll give us another chance. Ethan pulled her into his arms, held her like he'd never let go. Liam quietly slipped out, gave them privacy. I'm sorry, Ethan whispered into her hair, for everything, for not fighting harder, for not being there, for all the years we lost. I'm sorry too, for leaving, for not trying harder to reach you. No more apologies, only forward from here. They sat there for a long time, just holding each other, making up for 8 years of distance. The next few weeks were strange, good strange. They took things slow, dinner dates, long walks, getting to know each other again. Liam watched from the sidelines, smiling, happy. It's weird seeing them together, he told Caleb one night. But good weird. Your mom seems happy. She is. They both are. And they were. Naomi laughed more. Ethan smiled more. The weight they'd both been carrying finally lifted. 2 months after the gala, Liam finished his internship. The company offered him a permanent position. He accepted. I'm proud of you, Ethan said. They were in his office. You've exceeded every expectation. Thanks. I learned from the best. Ethan smiled. So, I have something to ask you. Shoot. I'm planning to ask your mother to marry me. Again. And I wanted your permission first. Liam's eyes went wide. Seriously? Seriously, I know it's fast, but we wasted 8 years already. I don't want to waste another day. Do you love her? More than anything. Then you have my permission. And my blessing. They shook hands. Then Ethan pulled him into a hug. Thank you, Ethan whispered, for giving me a chance, for letting me be your father. Thank you for showing up. That weekend, Ethan asked Naomi to meet him in Central Park, their old spot, where they used to sit and dream about the future. She arrived to find a picnic set up, candles, wine, her favorite foods. What's all this? She asked. Sit, please. She sat. He poured wine. They ate and talked and laughed, like they used to, before everything went wrong. As the sun started to set, Ethan stood up. I have something to say. Ethan, please. I've been practicing this. He smiled nervously. 8 years ago, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I let you go. I listened to people who didn't know what they were talking about. I was young and stupid and scared. You were young. We both were. But I should have fought. I should have stood up for us, for our love. I didn't, and I've regretted it every day since. He dropped to one knee, pulled out a ring. I'm not that scared kid anymore, Naomi. I'm a man who knows what he wants. And I want you. I want to wake up next to you every morning. I want to grow old with you. I want to be a family with you and Liam. So I'm asking you, will you marry me? Again? Naomi's hands covered her mouth. Tears streamed down her face. Yes, she whispered. Yes, I'll marry you. He slid the ring on her finger, stood up, pulled her into his arms and kissed her like it was the first time and the last time all at once. When they finally pulled apart, they were both crying. I love you, he said. I love you too. I never stopped. I know. Me neither. They stood there as the sun set, as the city lights came on, as the world kept spinning around them, and for the first time in 8 years, everything felt right. 6 months later, on a warm spring evening, family and friends gathered in the garden behind the Hale family estate. Margaret had left the property to Ethan before she passed. He'd considered selling it, but Naomi convinced him to keep it. Turn it into something beautiful, she'd said, something full of love instead of pain. So he did, and now it was filled with flowers, white roses and orchids, tiny lights strung through the trees. Liam stood at the front. He'd agreed to officiate. Caleb stood beside him as best man. Marjorie sat in the front row, dabbing her eyes with a tissue. Music started. Naomi walked down the aisle. She wore a simple white dress, no veil, just flowers in her hair. She was beautiful. Ethan couldn't breathe, couldn't think, could only stare at the woman he'd loved for so long finally walking toward him again. She reached him, took his hands. Hi, she whispered. Hi. Liam cleared his throat. We're gathered here today to celebrate love, real love, the kind that survives mistakes and time and pain, the kind that brings people back together. He looked at his parents. His smile was huge. Ethan and Naomi have a unique story. They loved each other young, lost each other, and found their way back. And in the process, they gave me the greatest gift, a real family. Naomi squeezed Ethan's hands. He squeezed back. Liam continued with the ceremony. They said their vows, not the traditional ones. They'd written their own. I promise to fight for us, Ethan said, every single day, to never let pride or fear come between us again, to love you with everything I have, for as long as I live. I promise to trust you, Naomi said, to let you in, to build a life with you based on honesty and love and forgiveness, to be your partner in everything, for better or worse. Do you, Ethan, take Naomi to be your wife? I do. Do you, Naomi, take Ethan to be your husband? I do. Then by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Again. Liam grinned. Dad, you may kiss Mom. Everyone laughed. Ethan pulled Naomi close and kissed her. The small crowd erupted in applause. They walked back down the aisle together, hand in hand, husband and wife. At the reception, Liam gave a toast. To my parents, thank you for showing me that it's never too late to make things right, that love really does conquer all, and that family isn't just blood, it's choice, it's showing up, it's fighting for each other even when it's hard. He raised his glass. To new beginnings. Everyone drank, cheered, celebrated. Later, Ethan and Naomi danced under the fairy lights, swaying to soft music. "Are you happy?" he asked. "Happier than I've been in years." "Good, because this is forever. You're stuck with me now. I wouldn't have it any other way." They kissed, soft and sweet. Liam watched from the side. Caleb stood beside him. "Your parents are disgustingly cute," Caleb said. "I know, it's actually kind of nice. Think you'll ever tell them about grad school?" "Eventually, but not tonight. Tonight's their night." The party went late into the night. When it finally ended, Ethan and Naomi stood alone in the garden. "We did it," Naomi said. "We actually got our second chance." "We did, and I'm not going to waste it." "Neither am I." They stood there, under the stars, in the garden that used to hold only painful memories but now held joy. "I have one more surprise," Ethan said. "What?" He handed her an envelope. She opened it. Inside were 3 tickets. "Paris?" she asked. "For our honeymoon. You, me, and Liam. He's never been." "I thought we could show him together." Fresh tears filled her eyes. "That's perfect. I'm trying to make up for lost time, for all the family trips we never took. You don't have to make up for anything. We're here now. That's what matters." "I know, but I want to. I want to give you and Liam everything. Every experience, every memory, everything we missed." She cupped his face. "You already gave us the most important thing. You gave us yourself, the real you. That's all we ever needed." They kissed again, longer this time. Somewhere in the house, Liam was probably raiding the leftover cake, living his best life, happy and whole. They'd been broken, all 3 of them, pieces scattered across 8 years, but now they were together, a family, not perfect, but real, and that was enough, more than enough. It was everything. 1 year later, Naomi stood in the kitchen of their new home, a house they'd bought together, big enough for all of them, with a garden where she could grow flowers. Liam had his own apartment now, but he came over most Sundays for dinner. Ethan walked in, wrapped his arms around her from behind. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. "How lucky we are, how different things could have been." "But they're not. We're here, together." "Together," she repeated. Liam's key turned in the lock. "I'm here, and I brought dessert." He walked in with Caleb, both of them laughing about something. "Dad, you have to tell Mom the story about the meeting this week," Liam said. "Which one?" "The one where you accidentally called the client honey because you were texting Mom at the same time." Ethan groaned. Naomi laughed. "You did not." "I did. It was mortifying." They all sat down for dinner, talked and laughed and teased each other, like families do. Later, after everyone left, Ethan and Naomi sat on the porch, watching the sunset. "Do you ever think about how different our lives would be if your mother hadn't kept those letters?" Naomi asked. "Every day, but I try not to dwell on it. We can't change the past, only the future. And what does our future look like? Happy, full, surrounded by people we love." He pulled her closer. "With maybe a few grandkids eventually, if Liam ever settles down." She laughed. "One step at a time, one step at a time," he agreed. The sun dipped below the horizon. The sky turned pink and orange and purple. It was beautiful, like their life, like their second chance, like everything they'd fought so hard to rebuild. "I love you," Naomi whispered. "I love you too, always have, always will." And under the fading light of day, 2 people who'd loved and loved again held each other close. Their story hadn't been easy, it hadn't been perfect, but it was theirs, and that made it beautiful.